morning, y'all. Today we're going to talk about time. There are 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour. Let's take a look at those first two on our real clock, which I moved off the wall, so it's right here. Notice that this is the second hand. It takes 60 clicks for that hand to get all the way around the clock once. So 60 seconds make 1 minute. Now when that happens, when it goes around 60 clicks, this is the minute hand and it moves just 1 click over. Okay, so 60 seconds make a minute. So this goes around 60 clicks and then this moves once. Okay, so this hand, the minute hand, it takes 60 clicks for this to get her all the way around the clock to make an hour. But this one's moving slower than this hand. Okay, so again, 60 seconds make 1 minute, and then this minute hand takes 60 minutes to get all the way around to make 1 hour. Now let's look at the rest of our time conversions. There are 24 hours in 1 day. There are 7 days in 1 week. There are about 4 weeks in 1 month. Okay, some months have more than that, but that's approximately. So that's what that little symbol means. There are 12 months in 1 year. There are 365 days in 1 year. There are 52 weeks in a year. There are 10 years in a decade and 100 years in a century. Okay, so now that we have all that down pat, we will move to our workbooks, and we will be on page 129 of our workbooks, which is lesson 3. Okay, so let's take a look. It says Courtney needs to leave the house by 8 a.m. If she wakes up at 6 o'clock a.m., how many minutes does she have to get ready? Use the number line to show your work. Okay, so let's find where she wakes up. She wakes up at 6 a.m., which would be right here. So, wakes up. She needs to leave the house at 8 o'clock. So you can see from 6 to 7 is 1 hour, and from 7 to 8 is another hour. Well, think to yourself, how many minutes are in an hour? You got it, Victoria, 60. There are 60 minutes in this hour, and there are 60 minutes in this hour. So 60 plus 60, which you could probably do in your head, or 60 times 2, is 120 minutes. So she has 120 minutes to get ready. Okay, let's go to number 2. You might try this one first and then see if you got it right. So you can pause if you want to. Juliana's goal was to run a marathon in under 6 hours. What was her goal in minutes? Well, how many minutes are in an hour? Again, we just said that. Victoria told us there are 60 minutes in an hour. So if we had 6 hours times 60 minutes, we would get 360 minutes. So her goal was 360 minutes. Okay, now we'll move down here to the bottom and practice our conversions in these charts. Okay, so again, 1 hour is 60 minutes. So 3 hours would be 3 times 60. We can do that mentally. 3 times 6 is, right, Ledger, 18. So that would be 180 minutes. 6 times 60, we just did that a second ago, is 360 minutes. 10 times 60, now what would that be? Hope, you got it, 600 minutes. And then finally, 15 times 60. Well, we might need to do that one off to the side. And I'm going to put the 60 on the bottom because I think that's easier. If the zero's down here, I just drop that 0. And then I move on to multiply with the 6. 6 times 5 is 30. And that would be 9. So 900 minutes. So the rule for converting hours to minutes and minutes to seconds is multiply by 60 times 60. Okay, let's move to the second chart. 1 day is how many hours, Addison? Yes, very good. There are 24 hours in a day. Okay, so 2 days would be double that, 48 hours. 5 days, and we probably are going to have to do this off to the side. 24 times 5 would be 120 hours. Okay, 7 times 24 hours. So you might do this on your own, but this 7 times 4 is 28. Then we have 14 plus 2 is 16, so 168 hours. And then finally, times 10 is easy. We just add a 0. That would be 240 hours. So the rule for converting days to hours is multiply times 24. All right, let's turn the page. That seems pretty easy. All right. Now, we're going to do similar problems like we've done on the other problem sets. 9 hours, 30 minutes is how many total minutes? Well, I need to get these 9 hours into minutes. So how many minutes in an hour? Yes, times 60. So that would give me 540 minutes plus these 30 minutes would be 570 minutes. Okay, you might pause right now and try to finish the top of this and then come back. Okay, 7 minutes, 45 seconds is how many seconds? Well, first we need to get this into seconds. So how many seconds in a minute? 60. So I multiply by 60. 6 times 7 is 42. So we have 420 seconds plus these 45 seconds would equal 465 seconds. 9 days, 20 hours is how many hours? Well, how many hours are in a day? 24. So I have to do 24 times 9. I'm going to do it over here. That would give me 36. This would be 18, 19, 20, 21. So that's 216 hours plus these 20 hours would give me 236 hours. Okay, the next one, 22 minutes, 27 seconds is how many seconds? Well, how many seconds in a minute? 60, yes. So I multiply by 60. Notice if I can, I always leave the number with the, well, I don't always, I guess, but the number with the 0 on the bottom. When it's 2 digits, makes it easier. The 0 I drop. 6 times 2 is 12. That'd be 12 plus 1 is 13. Okay, so that's a lot of seconds. And then I add 27 more seconds to get a total of 1,347 seconds. Okay, 13 days, 19 hours is how many hours? There are 24 hours in a day, so I have to multiply 13 times 24. So again, we're reviewing our 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication. And I'm going to come right here to do that. So 13 days times 24 hours. Okay, so let's not forget First we multiply through with the 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Okay, then I move over to multiply by the 2, so I put a 0 here because it's really a 20. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so 13 days is 312 hours, plus these 19 hours would give me 331 hours. And you might need to line those up to add them, that's fine. And then finally, 23 hours, 5 minutes is how many minutes? Well, there's 60 minutes in an hour. So we multiply by 60. 6 times 3 is 18. This would be 12 plus 1 is 13. And then I have to add those extra 5 minutes. So I get 1,385 minutes. Okay, now look at number 5. It says explain how you solved problem 4H. Well, how did we do that? I'd like you to put that in your own writing for a second, pause it, and then come back and see if you got about the same thing I did. But what we did was I multiplied 23 hours times 60, since there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. And then I added the extra 5 minutes to get the total minutes. So as long as you had something close to that, that's good. Okay, 2 last problems. How many seconds are in 14 minutes, 43 seconds? How many seconds? Well, I gotta make this be seconds to add it to these seconds. So how many seconds are in a minute? 60. So I multiply by 60. 6 times 4 is 24. 6, 7, 8. Then I add these 43 seconds. I'll put it underneath since I have room. And I get 883 seconds. All right, and one last problem. How many hours are there in 4 weeks and 3 days? Oh, brother, how many hours? Well, let's figure out, if I've got 4 weeks and 3 days, let's get how many days that is, and then we'll multiply that by 24 hours. Well, how many days are there in 4 weeks? Well, there's 7 days in a week, so if I multiply by 7, I would get 28 days, plus these 3 days, that would be 31 days. Well, if I want how many hours that is, I have to multiply by 24 hours. So again, we're reviewing. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Put my placeholder. Okay, then I multiply with the 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Add it up. And I get 744 hours. All right, we are done. You can move on to the exit ticket and have a great day. Love ya.